Is GM, General Motors, trying to get out of it? Find out in today's video. There's been an update. Welcome back to Curtis LSA TV, and for those that are new here, my name is Matt. I did a video about 6 months ago in regards to the class action against General Motors for the faulty transmission sold in Holden vehicles in Australia between January the 1st, 2011 to the 24th of December 2024. There has been an update in this actual class action which is still pending. You could be compensated. Find out in today's video on what's going on. Let's get to it. So what is the Holden transmission class action about, might you ask? Well, if you check out the link right there, I did a video of it in more description about 6 months ago, but I'll just do a quick brief history on what it is actually about if you're new to the channel or actually don't know what this class action is. The Holden transmission class action has been brought on behalf of people who have acquired a certain models of Holden vehicles in Australia between January the 1st, 2011 and 24th of December 2024, equipped with a GM6L45 transmission, a GM6L50 transmission, or a GM6L80 transmission. The action alleges that the transmission systems in the affected Holden vehicles are defective due to a design fault in the torque converter and torque converter clutch. As a result of the alleged defect, the affected vehicles have a propensity to experience various problems including intermittent transmission shudders, excessive vibrations, harsh gear shifts, leakage of the transmission fluid, accelerated degradation of the components of the transmission system, and greater servicing requirements. The class action alleges that General Motors failed to comply with the guarantee of acceptable quality under Australian consumer law and engaged in misleading and deceptive conduct. The class action seeks to recover compensation for loss and damage on behalf of consumers who acquired the affected vehicles. It does not seek to claim compensation for loss or damage which is not related to the transmission system. So just posting up the screen captures of the actual class action update, which is dated April 2025. On the 2nd of April 2025, the respondent GMANZ made an application to strike out parts or all of our statement of claim, which means that they have raised complaints about the claims and have asked the court to remove some or all of the case, strike it out, is what that means. The applicant's position is that the pleading is adequate and appropriate, and we are defending the strikeout application. As a case management hearing on the 3rd of April 2025, the court set out a timetable for dealing with the respondent's strikeout application. The next case management hearing is scheduled for 9:30 a.m. on June the 27th, 2025, whereby the court will hear the strikeout application. We are continuing to expect that will be some time before a trial date is listed, and as a number of important and time-consuming steps in this case will need to take place before the trial can be heard. So please note that the class action does not extend to vehicles that were acquired in New Zealand and or purchased outside of Australia. The affected Holdens are in the screen captures I'm about to show you right here. I'll read through the Commodore ones, but Colorado 7, Colorado and Trailblazer were affected, but they can be seen in the screen captures here. But I'll go through the Commodore ones. So Commodore VE, my 11 to my 12.5. Commodore VF, my 13 to my 17. Berliner VE, my 11 to my 12.5. Calais VE, my 11 to my 12.5. Calais VF, my 13 to my 17, Holden VE Ute, my 11 to my 13, Holden VF Ute, my 13 to my 17, Caprice WM Series 2, my 11 to my 12, Caprice WN, my 13 to my 15, and Caprice WN Series 2, my 15 to my 17. But as you saw in the screen captures right there, you can check that out yourself. There is a disclaimer / note at the bottom of that screen capture you've just seen. If you did not acquire one of these affected Holden vehicles, you are not covered by the class action at this time. We may update the list of affected vehicles at a later stage once we have further information about the extent of the alleged defect. As such, we have now updated our registration portal to allow those who have acquired a different Holden vehicle to register their interest in bringing a claim for defects affecting affecting those vehicles. If you acquired a different Holden vehicle that is suffering similar issues to the affected Holden vehicles, and you would like to provide us with information about your vehicle, you can also do so here, which can be seen in the screen capture. There is a link in the description below. This will also allow us to notify you if there is any update to the list of affected vehicles, such as your claim becomes covered by the class action. Regular updates on the class action will be published on our website, which is Morris Blackburn Lawyers, every 6 months, and you can follow our social media accounts to get alerted for updates. If you are eligible, please register now. I'll also put the link in the description below how to register now if you have an affected transmission vehicle in these Holden vehicles. So a strikeout in an actual class action or a case, someone suing something against you, is you can strike out certain parts of that case before it goes to actual trial that you believe or the actual defendant believes is not true in regards to the class action. You can check that out yourselves, but in normal terms, to my understanding, that's what a strikeout means. Follow that up yourself if you want to, but yeah, strikeout means that in my opinion. As I stated in the last video I did of this actual class action against General Motors, this will just be dragged through the courts for months and months on end, probably years, and it'll be chewed up by lawyers' fees and also media coverage on the actual class action, and the end consumer will probably get less than $500 out of it. But that's my opinion. That's what normally happens with these so-called class actions against big companies. Their lawyers get involved, of course, gets dragged through the courts for months on end, for years, and by that time that it comes to an actual conclusion, all the fees and compensation has been eaten up by lawyers and other people involved in this actual case. So yeah, you're probably not going to get much out of it. You might get a little out of it, as I stated in my last video about this actual issue. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing, and as always, my name's Matt and you've been watching Curtis LSA TV.